In this episode, we will explore a Totally Killer, a fun sci-fi time-traveling story that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The film opens in the town of Vernon, where podcaster Chris Dubasich is talking about the infamous Sweet 16 killer from 1987. In October of that year, Tiffany Clark was murdered and found in her parents' garage on the night of her Sweet 16 party, and she was stabbed 16 times. Days later, Tiffany's friends Marissa Sohn and Heather Hernandez were also killed and found in a similar manner. The killer was never found, but Vernon still views him as an icon and hosts a murder tour while people wear his mask. Teenager Jamie Hughes is getting ready to go to a concert with her best friend Amelia Creston. Her mother Pam tries to come in and tell her to be safe since it's the 35th anniversary of the murders and Pam was friends with the victims. When Pam suggests that Jamie stay and celebrate Halloween with her and her dad Blake like always, Jamie coldly brushes Pam off before Blake takes her and Amelia to the concert. Pam is also seen getting a message from Chris, who Blake always found to be a creepy weirdo and always preferred his beloved newscaster dad Norm. While Pam is waiting for trick-or-treaters, someone wearing the Sweet 16 killer's mask shows up at the Hughes house. Pam thinks it's a crude joke until the guy slashes at her with a knife. Pam uses self-defense techniques against him, but the killer overpowers her and stabs her to death. Her body is found by two kids before Jamie and Blake return to the scene. Jamie is left crying in her room, regretting the last thing she said to her mom. At school, Principal Doug Summers offers his condolences to Jamie, while Sheriff Carol M. suggests Jamie is a suspect or knows something about the killer's identity. Jamie fires back at her, saying she is as useless as her own sheriff father was in catching the killer back in 1987. Jamie later joins Amelia at the site of the school science fair, where her project is a working time machine based on the designs of her mother Lauren. While it is not complete, Amelia has the travel date set to October 27, 1987, which is the night of Tiffany's murder when the killing spree began. Jamie later contacts Chris since she knew he and Pam were texting, with hopes that they may uncover the killer's identity. Chris shows Jamie a note that was supposedly left in Pam's locker in high school by the killer, warning her she was going to be next. When Jamie returns to join Amelia at the fair, the killer appears and chases after Jamie. She hides in the photo booth where the time machine is, and the killer activates it by stabbing the control panel. Jamie time travels to 1987. She is taken to the high school to look for the young Pam and is instantly enrolled as a new student. She meets Pam, who is the most popular main girl at the school alongside Tiffany, Marissa, and Heather, who are all called the Mollies because they like to dress like Molly Ringwald. Jamie ends up playing dodgeball in gym class with them, and Pam repeatedly hits her with multiple balls. After class, Jamie introduces herself to the girls and tries to find a way to get Tiffany to cancel her Sweet 16 party for that night, but just gets rudely told off by Pam. Jamie first goes to find Sheriff Dennis Lem, Kara's father, to try and warn him that murders will begin happening. She then goes to find the young Lauren, who is a science nerd like Amelia will be. Jamie explains her situation like the plot of Back to the Future and how she needs to find the killer and return home as soon as possible. She convinces Lauren by showing her iPhone and then taking her to the photo booth where the time machine is. Lauren gets her tools to try and fix it. Later, Jamie and Lauren head to Tiffany's party, but they are denied entry by jock Randy Finkel, who is Jamie's gym teacher in the present and calls them losers. The young Doug also faces rejection, and Jamie meets the young Kara, who is a major stoner year. Jamie attempts to sneak in and join the Mollies, even though they find her weird. She spots the young Blake and feels disgusted after briefly admiring him, and he is already dating Tiffany. Randy throws her out again. Jamie re-enters the house and sees Blake and Tiffany arguing. She unintentionally persuades Tiffany to hook up with Eddie Royal, a classmate who is a super famous rock star and Jamie's idol. Tiffany and Eddie retreat to her parents' bedroom to make out, and Jamie searches the house for Tiffany when she fails to show up in the garage. Eddie vanishes, and the killer emerges from the closet to stab Tiffany to death on the waterbed. Jamie and Pam arrive too late to find her dead. Jamie and Lauren escort a traumatized Pam home, where they witness her being rude to her mother. Jamie had mentioned earlier that her grandmother never visits because of Pam. In the present, Blake notices Jamie's absence and suspects Chris is involved. Amelia spots her time machine and deduces Jamie was sent back in time. She enlists Chris's help, and they discover new crime scene photos of Tiffany's murder, which show her in her parents' bedroom instead of the garage as they remember. Amelia also spots a message on the waterbed from Jamie saying "stab the machine," which clues her in that another metal conductor is needed to make the machine work. Jamie goes back to school with the girls and learns about a student named Fat Trish who died after driving drunk. Trish had a brother whom everyone calls Lurch and who works at the fair and creeps people out. Jamie joins Pam, Marissa, and Heather at the same cabin where Marissa was killed, despite Jamie's objections to keep things small. Randy, Kara, and Blake also show up for the party. Jamie tries to stop Pam from hooking up with Blake too soon, fearing she might alter the future. When Jamie gets locked out of the cabin, she sees the killer entering and tries to alert Kara and Randy. Jamie then sees the killer targeting Heather instead of Marissa. The killer chases Heather and kills her in the living room. Jamie and Blake manage to fend off the killer and make him flee. Lauren warns Jamie that her phone, which can send her back to the present, is low on battery. If it dies, she will be stuck in 1987. At the fair, Jamie spots the quantum drop, a possible power source. She recalls Pam saying she conceived Jamie on that ride. Jamie suspects Lurch is the killer. She enters his van and finds video game cartridges. Lurch catches her and denies being a killer, but admits wanting to make games. The others join them at the fair, while Amelia fixes her machine in the prison. The killer attacks them in a haunted house. They fight him off, and Kara kills him with a scythe. Jamie unmasks him as Doug, Trish's boyfriend. Marissa remembers Doug knew about the Mollies getting Trish drunk to interrogate her about sleeping with their coach. Trish left in tears and crashed her car. Jamie blames Pam, but Pam says she wasn't there and never got a note from Chris. Another killer appears and kills Marissa, and they run. In the present, Lauren finds Amelia unconscious and the machine missing. Jamie heads to the quantum drop, and the killer stabs Noam on live TV. Pam and the killer chase Jamie to the ride, where Pam remembers Jamie mentioning a crucial moment there. The killer warns Pam, but Jamie ejects her to safety. The killer is Chris, who killed Pam and his dad to start a killing spree and profit from his podcast. He tries to kill Jamie as the machine activates, but Jamie shoots him with Lauren's nail gun and kicks him into the machine, making him explode. Jamie returns to the present and rejoices to see Pam alive. Lauren and Amelia arrive and tell her they saved her. Lauren gives Jamie a notebook to show her the changes she made. A young man arrives, revealed to be Jamie's 34-year-old brother, who is named Jamie, and the main Jamie is now Colette. Lauren's notebook shows more changes, such as Pam and Blake getting together sooner, giving Jamie an older brother with a family. Pam and her mom get along better. Randy is the principal, and Kara is the chief of police and happier. Lauren is a bioengineer, and Amelia is still Colette's best friend and a genius. Lurch is a game developer and an anti-bullying activist for Trish. Eddie Royal changed from a hard rocker to an emo because he almost died. Chris became a monk after his dad's murder, but Lauren still watches him.